why I did not do this. How about the invocation and pledge? Let's ask Dr. Richardson to lead us in the pledge and the invocation class.
Hi, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here today to do your will. Please be with us as we make decisions for the betterment of the college and the community, and with us as we reach them. Amen.
Move on to item 2. Sorry, all you have to do is the pledge and invocation, I promise, nothing serious. Approval of the agenda. We will have consideration of approval of the agenda.
Motion for the agenda.
Dr. Richardson moves to approve the agenda as presented. Second by Mr. Featherston. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Moving on, consideration and approval of the April board meeting. Dr. Richardson moves to approve. All in favor? Or I need a second first. Mr. Featherston seconds. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Let's go to the college financial report. Dr. Charlotte, were you? There you are. I lost you in the crowd.
Okay, if you look at our board book, starting on page 8, this is as of March 31st, this fiscal year, compared to the same time last fiscal year. Very similar to what you've seen in previous months. First page being revenue, second page being expenses, and then revenues minus expenses. It looks like we're a little behind, but remember that last year includes about $2.3 million of one-time CARES funds money. So once you kind of back that out, we're pretty much very comfortable to last year. Following the next 2 pages, then are just the details of those graphs. Page 13 looks at our preliminary April numbers. So looking at our revenue, you can see we have a couple of categories which have actually exceeded our budgeted revenue. That's largely due to property taxes and rates. So that's good news. And then on the bottom half of the page, looking at expenses, we're 83% into the fiscal year. And you can see that every category is at or below that mark. So looking very good on tuition and fees, closing out on that number. Remembering we still have summer registration going on, and summer is allocated between the 2 fiscal years, so we'll get a portion of that still in this fiscal year. So that looks very good. And then on the next pages, then are just the details, and then on page 15, looking at our capital budget, we continue to work on the projects we've been talking about all year. The big one right now, of course, is the HVAC project that's going on. And then following that, looking at our cash position, the pie graph on page 18. Again, a good position to be in this time of the fiscal year. Won't see another big influx of cash in the fall. See some in the summer for summer aid, but it will be quite a bit smaller. So this will be our big cash reserves until we get to September. Following that, looking at our certificates of deposit, we don't have any changes to report in that. And then, although I am happy to report that interest rates are going up, so we're getting a much better interest rate on our money, both in our checking accounts as well as CDs. So we have not yet invested in CDs because our checking account also adjusted with the rate. But we're almost at the tipping point there, so we'll probably see some more movement in that in the months to come. Following that, then there's nothing to report on the bid report. And the very last page is some budget adjustments to kind of fill in some gaps and some budget alignments and so forth. Nothing really unforeseen there. That's routine projects that we've been talking about all year. Any questions?
Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the, financial reports by Ms. Eubank? Motion to approve it. Mr. Featherston makes a motion, seconded by Dr. Richardson. This is a roll call. No, it's a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Let's move to the president's report. Dr. Payne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So. Would like to we put on the screen? Or do something? There we go. All right, so we are going to start. Oh, I forgot turning that on. 1 second. There we go. Oh, wow, it works. So in recognition that the pandemic has been declared at an end, we wanted to take the opportunity to thank our partners who worked with us in getting through that and creating our plan for how we were going to deal with it. So with us today is our partners from Poplar Bluff Medical Regional Center and Dr. Dean Dye. That is Kathleen Emily Gooden from the Butler County Health Department, was unable to be with us, as was Dr. Chris Montgomery. But these 4 partners were absolutely invaluable. We created a plan. Both Dr. Dye and Dr. Montgomery were constantly on call to answer questions and field concerns from students, from faculty, from staff, from community members, both global questions and very specific questions. The health department worked with us. We were given a number of COVID tests from the state. And without the health department who administered all of those tests for us, that would have been extremely difficult. Then when they couldn't do it, the hospital would step in and they provided literally hundreds of tests. Everybody worked together to, when we had someone in need, we all worked together to make sure they received appropriate treatment and care. The college, in the beginning, we found a number of medical supplies that we then shared with the hospital to help with their initial startup. Screenings. It is hard to explain the frenzy of, especially the first year, but the second year as well. So having our partners willing to come over, pre-test all of our housing students to make sure that we were clean coming in, to be able to get tests and treatment taken care of on very short notice, and having our students, our faculty and staff taken care of was absolutely vital. And because of the strength of the partnership, the state didn't ask the first question about the plan. So we were able to create a plan, send it, it was endorsed, and they accepted it on face value because of the strength of the partnership. And so just in the first year, we did over 1,200 incidents where we had to clear whether or not it was a valid exposure, not an exposure, get a test done, evaluate the results, quarantine, not quarantine, send a student home, isolate someone. In fact, as a result of those, we had 374 tested positive, 538 quarantines, and 209 tested negative. The rest of those incident investigations ended with, okay, based on what you told me, you don't meet the criteria for any of this, just keep coming to class or keep coming to work. It was a hectic time, but I cannot sing the praises of Poplar Bluff Regional Medical Center Dr. Montgomery and Guy and the health department enough, because it was with this partnership that we got through this. Added to that, our nursing department did a number of vaccine clinics throughout the area and literally vaccinated thousands of people over time, and that was in cooperation with the partnership and others coming on as well. So we have a momentum, our appreciation to all of you. Chuck, if you'll help me, if y'all will stand up and kind of come to the podium, we'll. I think that's a tip for people that aren't here. So, Rick, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
If you want to stand in front of the podium, that would
All right.
actually.
You want to hear this?
Oh,
Gary, what about, Gary, do you want to go there? You guys-
Here, let's meet. Josh, come on.
okay, then once you. Oh, yeah. Don't bother about it. Whatever you do. All right.
And if you guys could kind of angle towards me a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right. And there's, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's not do it.
Thank you all.
And we have held our December alumni reception, leading into commencement season. There is Dr. Ron Webb and his family. He, of course, will be Friday night's commencement speaker. And we are proud to have that coming up. And now I'm going to ask Dr. Melissa Douglas to come forward and talk about the Three Rivers Fine Arts Student Exhibit.
So this exhibit is the student in the drawing room and painting 2 courses. They've also added a little bit of mixed media art as well. So it says it ends the May 12th, but you can actually still view all of the artwork. We've kept it, we can open it anytime. They're not gonna remove it till tomorrow night. And if you haven't seen it, it is really good. We have some very talented students. Any questions about it? You're asking a fine person to describe art. I have my favorite pieces, but that's best I can do.
The students did a wonderful job. You know, every year is vastly different. They have a very wide array of different types of art, whether it's from charcoal to oil to mixed media. It's a very interesting exhibit. I would encourage anybody that has the opportunity to stop by the gallery. Thank you, Dr. Davis. And I'm going to ask Mr. Gangle to come up and speak about the retirement session.
Our annual retirement reception on April 25th. We honor 4 employees this year for full-time service. Some have already retired and some are coming up. Suzanne Davis, Stevie Gilbert, and Steve Lewis. Those 4 have a combined total of 96 years of experience.
So we're always proud to honor our retirees and sad to see them go. Of course, Ms. Dilbeck is one of those who will be retiring at the end of the year. And at the table beside her is Miss Melody Ducati. He will be coming in to fill Edie's shoes. So, congratulations to them all. And now I'm going to ask Cindy and Buddy White to come up and speak about and Terry Mitchell. Come up and speak about the pajama game and the spring concert. If you did not get to see the pajama game, that was an awesome.
I have the play-by-play analysis, you're able to do the color commentary,
Excellent.
and you'll do the legwork. Okay, I'll start with my part. So this is our spring musical, the pajama game. We had performances, April 26th, 28th, and 29th, 7 p.m., April 30th, at 2 p.m. Many hours in rehearsals were spent prepared for the show. During the 3 performances by our students, we set up sound with 24 wireless mics and receivers, programmed 24 channels on the soundboard, with 75 sound cues on our computers, with stage lights. We defined them and adjusted them with 55 light cues on the light board, rigging the adjusted detention blocks, turnbuckles, weight armors. Stage sets were built. Terry made lots of costumes, and the work was done by our music department staff and our supervising, our supervised students. Over 473 people attended the performance. Color commentary.
Color commentary. I'm Sharon Mitchell, and my color commentary is our students. I don't know if you saw this in the newspaper, but we had some marvelous press this year with beautiful color pictures and for the spring showcase and for the pajama game. A little musical about labor unions and raises. Oh, that's very funny, isn't it? So I brought you some pictures. This is a student production. This is educational theater. Everything that you saw in the pajama game, collaboration between the faculty and the students, with a little help from PR. They printed some of the students' designs, and the kids made buttons for everyone so they could all. Yes, they did. So we have all kinds of interesting things about the pajama game, but it is a student-led production. We don't have any outside help. It's a collaboration entirely between the faculty and students. Everybody you see on the stage is a student, with the exception of a couple of guest stars who are students. They are alumni that come back to give back to music education. It was a really good show. It was solid. I would put this in 25th annual Putnam County Song of the up against something Simon Max. And when not kidding, they did a fantastic job. This is a great program for kids to learn from. So I hope you'll continue to support the music department, come to our showcases and concerts, and our annual spring musical, which by the way featured mostly freshmen. As Dr. Payne said, well, every year's a different year. We had 4 returning sophomores for the second. They did a really good job, and thank you for letting us.
And our spring concert was May 9th at 7 p.m. It included the collegiate choir, the jazz band, and symphonic band. We again ran our own sound and lights. We saved the flash drives. So we have copies. It's a good thing. Our community band members range in age from junior high school, college students. We have 6 band directors, including 3 of our own that went through our CME program, and all the way up to retired community members. One of our alumni members, Don Bob, the band director at Don, bus led us to the city concert, which is great. And approximately 300 people attended that performance. Never stop you before. Oh, oh, cool. You stole it, yeah.
Good.
And we thank you, Dr. Payne, and the board and our administrators, for your support. It means a lot to us when we're at the performances. Actually, it's just on the spot, but it's means a lot that this students will, another year, and, it means a lot to us, so we really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you year after year. You guys do a great job bringing great performances and creating new vision. So thank you for all the work you do to help you get to our students. So we held our annual employee appreciation luncheon on April 28th. We were all able to get together and just relax for a moment and visit and enjoy the day. And celebrate coming close to the end of another academic year. So it was a successful day and rejuvenated us right there at the end so we could make a final push to Friday's commencement. Then I'm going to ask Dr. Sherry Fiedler if she'll come forward and speak about the Student Excellence Award ceremony.
In the week leading up to graduation, we recognize students who demonstrate excellence in academics, athletics, student service, and leadership in the past year. So the Student Excellence Award ceremony took place this past Friday on May 12th, and we recognized students by presenting about 60 awards. You should have a flyer at your table and shows who won those awards and what categories those were. And I'd like to take just a moment to thank the faculty and staff for their work. All of our students, but also any questions? All right, thank you.
All right, and I'm going to ask Coach Brian Best, the AD, to come forward and talk about the year's athletic roundup.
We have had a really good year in athletics, and in fact, someone's still one coaches. And anyway, we've had a really good year, and Coach Wiggs is in a hurry, so I'm going to ask for him to recruit that he is showing around, and he would like to go first. And in fact, making the national tournament, that type of thing, I thought he could expand on his year and tell us all about it. And then go finish up his recruiting. So he has recruiting.
Yes, have a Zoom with the international kids, so showing around campus via Zoom technology is amazing. So Coach Livingston's doing a little bit right now. Mom's on the call as well, so we want to be there as well here. But overall, great season. We ended the season 22-6. Made our third trip in a row to the national tournament this past year. So I thank you guys for allowing us to go. For I know every time that's not budgeted and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys doing that and allowing us to go. This past year we had 3 girls earn all region, we had 3 first team all region players and 1 second team. Then we had 3 first team all conference players, and we had 2 second team all conference players. And then we had 1 All American. Maya Bergdorf, our honorable mention All American, and she actually just signed at New Mexico State. So she transferred here from Sacred Heart, and she's from Boston, and just signed letter of intent to continue at New Mexico State. So that's pretty exciting for us. With graduation coming up, we have 3 returners, and so we are losing 10 players, and all 10 of them right now are graduating. And I know 8 of the 10 are planning on walking at graduation, with family coming in from Massachusetts and Maryland and all over the place coming in for the special events and everything this week. So again, appreciate everybody for everything. You guys have any questions? Thank you, guys. Yes, I'm gonna go get this one. Good.
So, men's basketball is gonna have 5 players walking for graduation, we're excited about that. And, next up we'll have, Coach Smith come and talk about baseball, they just finished up, and finished 4th in the regular season.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me. So yeah, we had a really good year baseball wise. Had 26 wins, which is the most wins since 07. In 07, we had 26 as well. And then can't really find anything before that, and we had 26 again. So that was awesome. Finished in the top 4 of the region, which is the first time the regular season we've ever hosted the sub-region. So the sub-region has been up there right after I left here, so about 2011. So a long time. We hosted it, which was a really good deal. I think it's our highest regular season finish since 04. So also about 20 years since we finished. We had 3 all-region hits, so Dalton Road got 17 all-region as a center fielder from East Carter. Has a 10th win at Gold Glove, so didn't make an arrow for years long, which is really cool. He was a great player for us. Came from Western Kentucky, and then came back home like a lot of them always do, which we really like, and then going to move him somewhere else. Peyton Nelson came from University of Missouri and got 2nd team all-region as well. He's coming back next year, which is always nice. And then we had the first team all-region catcher, Trent Buchanan from Australia. He graduated. All conference is not out yet. I'm expecting a lot of picks. We got 8 of our 16 moving on to the 4-year level right now. 14, 15 of those guys will move on to the 4-year level. The only one that's not is our only kid that's not graduating, but he may sign a pro deal. We've got 15 of our 16 sophomores graduating, and that's really good where they can move on. One thing that holds our guys back is when they graduate, it's an improvement, really good places. Most of ours graduate. Yesterday we hosted the district between Van Buren and East Carter, which was really awesome. I know you guys invested a lot of money in the baseball field and have a lot of compliments from those people of how nice it was and the environment and everything. So that's really good. Those things don't go kind of deal. I know Van Buren got a rain the night before. Called me and said, hey, can we put your field gap on that? So being able to provide that for the community also helps just exposure. I know we have a lot of players that may have never really been here or come on campus and are, oh wow, this is really nice. I think sometimes people forget how nice it really is. So having those facilities be all local is really good. So it was a great year. We got to keep continue moving forward next year. So the great thing about being a you got to replace half your team every year, so we got to do that. So thank you. If you have any questions.
I think the board has been pretty unanimous. We want those students on campus every chance we get. We want them to see the place. What's the status of the clubhouse? We toured it year and a half ago, and we were doing the total remodel, working on it. How's it?
We haven't, the remodel hasn't started. I think we're still working on prices, inflation, and everything. It needs work on, it needs fixed, but hasn't gotten fixed yet. So we may do, I know it's made for, before I got here, we carried about 25 guys, so there's 25 roster lockers. Now we're at, so we need the space as soon as we get it, but with inflation, everything else. Yeah. So,
Thanks, sir.
Next up, we'll have Coach Noel, and he'll come forward and talk about the softball program and summer. Zoe, y'all want to come over here? Well, we're proud of the softball program.
Thank y'all for having us. It was felt like a pretty tremendous year. Had a great regular season. Didn't quite finish the way we wanted to. It's a regional tournament. But we got to play well at the right time, and we did do that. So we got sent home. But great year. We finished up 44-12, 18-0 at home, which is a kind of a cool stat. That's the second time I think the last 5 years we finished undefeated at home. So big home field advantage playing here. We had 6 kids selected to the all-region team, 3 first teamers, including the hitter of the year for the region, Tyler Puckett. We also had 3 second team all-region kids. And then all conference is being voted on now, so we'll know that here in the next few days, but we expect to get quite a few there too. looks like, academically, it's been a very, very strong year, probably the best year since I've been here. I know of our 19 rostered kids in the fall, 9 of them had a 4.0. And this spring, we finished up with, 8 of them had a 4.0 for the spring also. So, that's still 1 or 2 grades coming in, but looking at their current grades, what it looks like. It looks like we went up with 11 academic All-Americans, which is a high. Sophomores, we have them all placed, all 8 are graduating, all over but 1, and she has a visit next week, and she's been holding out for this school, so she's gonna visit Southwest Baptist, and hopefully, we got that one locked up, and we'll be all done with them. We've set a lot of individual season records, many career records, just like 10 individual records, teams are, and I won't bore you with all that, but, statistically it was a great year offensively for us. I think we finished up 5th in the nation in home runs, so we just gotta get the pitching to go along with it. It's been a great group of kids. I can't, as a coach, you know, you don't wanna get those 11 o'clock phone calls, you know, from housing, you know, saying, hey, the kids are down here with another head. This group's been awesome. They behaved themselves on the field, off the field, in the classroom. They did the job. Just very, very proud of this group. Not doing very many headaches. We'll take another year just like next week. As of right now, we have 25 for the fall, which is increase over 19 we had last fall. So we have a few more kids. It'll be interesting. It's a little more than we've compared in the past, but we've been able to get a lot of walk-ons here the last few years. Kids that can come in and they're strong academically, they act right, they're a great fit, a lot of local kids especially. And it's been just really good to add that to the environment. It kind of pushes everybody else in the classroom. It's all about competition, whether it's girls, it doesn't matter if you're talking about classroom or doing chores or whatever. You make a competition, they'll get after it. And then lastly, I want to recognize my assistant, Summer Shockley, my volunteer assistant, Zoe Disney. They did an outstanding job, and they put in a ton of hours with our kids on the fields just to make our program better. I know I really appreciate it. I know the school really appreciates it. Well, thank you guys. Okay. And thank you. If you guys have any questions, fire away. Appreciate everything.
Any questions now?
So I was presented to a softball tournament, and the wind was blowing in 30 miles an hour. Because we had better hitting, but our pitching wasn't quite as good as the other teams, to be honest. And we think we've got 3 better pitchers coming next year, so we've already really excited about next year, and they're going to be able to hit again. And if the wind is blowing in, he's got a solution for it. And actually, this year we need to win 12 games. Great season, my coach. So last, Chad, talk about rodeo and we won for the tournament, running bull.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to next year on it was a run. Far as around, we were way down last year, but that wasn't something that was odd for any other rodeo. Graduation rate across the country was down, and a lot of people actually. Next, well, we did finish the team standings. Guys were 7th, girls was 9th. We had a little trouble with the girls, far as quitting, and that's what you get when you take all comers. We take walk-ons for people that are not very experienced, and I treat it pretty serious, and they want to treat it pretty have fun, and I don't mix well. So, but we made it through. We made the college finals. We've been to the college finals every year except one since I've been here, and I think before that, the rodeo team has been in the college finals twice since it has started. We do have a solid chance again this year.
Brandon has missed the college finals the last 2 years by, one spot. He's tired of it. He worked his tail off, this year and it showed. And I believe he will be prepared when we get there. So I think we got a good shot out there. I wish we had more, but we'll see what happens. And then on the recruiting side of things, we've been hitting home runs. For a kid a couple weeks ago, I think, that set out a year. He graduated last year and set out, didn't go anywhere. Was recruited by every school in the country. Like heavily recruited. Wasn't planning on going to college. Some of the other kids I've recruited knew him, and bam, we got him. So I've got 2 more recruits that are winning the first and second in the second largest rodeo association in the world. That I think may come here. Like they're leaning towards it. They say if they're going to school, it'll be here. I think one of them for sure, maybe 2, maybe 3. There's another kid out there too that put it really good for me. So we're getting to death of that.
So I'll just point out, because Coach Phipps soft on it a little bit. 7 out of the last 8 years, the team's been to national competition.
I wasn't.
So excellent job.
Thanks.
You'll be on Rainbow.
Sir.
You still wait on Rainbow to ride that bull.
Oh, that's
So on July 22nd, Coach Phipps and the rodeo program will be doing a bull riding fundraiser. Busy that day.
And we can do a fantasy board. We will teach you all day before and have a appropriate type bull for you to get on if you want to.
Appropriate time.
Slowly.
He will not be clean, he will get dirty.
Alligator mouth.
Thanks.
So the only other departments are here. And Caleb is. Oh, I thought that Caleb is not a baby boy and did not, could not make it, but you are on turn. So come on out, sorry about that.
Hey, everybody, Coach Jameson, and I don't have as much gumption as some of my players do, obviously, for getting out and doing public presentations. But they've had a very exciting last 2 seasons, and we just finished up this one. Not quite as great as our last. We did have one player still go to the playoffs and make 5th, so we are very proud of him. We had our little party together, celebrate everything. I'm losing 2 of my players after this season, unfortunately. They are either transferring on or graduating. But we've got 7 very promising candidates who have already committed to us. So they are coming to us in the fall. Very excited to greet them in. That's another whole 2.5 teams for some of our games. So we're excited to see what we can do in the fall, bring our numbers up to around 34 for my total this point. They're very excited. And the NJCAA has just offered 3 new titles for the fall season. So we will see some new game titles that our students can potentially join the team and participate in. And there's a lot of excitement for that as well. So all in all, things are doing very well, very positive. You're making a very positive public image so far, and we're looking to expand on that soon with, opening up a Facebook page, get our streams up and running so that people can see our matches online, things of that nature. We're excited to get out and be in the public eye. Any questions?
Is there spectators on esports? Can you watch them play? I mean,
so there are 2 traditional types of spectating for esports. There is streaming content in which they're simply watching the game played, so you're not seeing the players. But then there's also arena spectating, which is more common for larger events, and that's where you actually see the players typically lined up They're all on their individual systems. We're seeing another team all on their individual systems. So you actually see the players in the arena, and there is usually a jumbotron of some kind that they're just being on. You can see the players communicating at the same time.
We don't have, right?
We do not have that, but boy, that'd be great to have.
I think that's aspirational.
But yes, aspirational, would love to see it someday, not something we have right now, so right now we're just doing the streaming content, but I'm sure we can put a jumbotron over the wireless, so. Other than that, thank you all for having me, very excited for our next fall season.
Thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll move into some upcoming events. Our pinning ceremony is May 19th, 2 p.m. It will be held at the Penn Fine Arts Center, so that is this coming Friday. And then following that at 6 p.m. is the annual commencement ceremony. Our day of celebrating the success of our students. So looking forward to that. We'll be closed May 29th for Memorial Day. College National Final Rodeos are June 11th through 17th in Casper, Wyoming. And then our annual Three Rivers Endowment Trust Golf Tournament will be held June 16th. And that, Mr. Chairman, is the President's report, and we do have a few executive sessions.
Excellent. I would entertain a motion to go into executive session. Dr. Richardson, Mr. Featherston, this unfortunately is a roll call vote.
Chris is not on track.
Chris is not here.
Trustee Featherston?
Yes.
Trustee Richardson? Yes. Trustee Hager?
Yes.
Trustee Garrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
He's in our state, yes. We are, does everybody need a break? I didn't get my haircut. See, I'm not. I got to. I know.
You say nothing about Tammy.
We are recording. We are back. Welcome those who stuck with us. I next to consideration, discussion, and vote that I have my mouth full.
All right, our first and only item other than personnel is consideration of and approval of the Stoddard County Hazardous Mitigation Plan. Very similar to the Butler County Hazardous Mitigation Plan. We are a signatory on these plans because we are participants in these plans, and participation in these plans is one of the elements of eligibility for certain federal grants. So it is the administration's recommendation that I will approve and adopt.
I make the motion we approve and adopt. Mr. Featherston makes a motion to approve and adopt these hazard mitigation. Is there a second one, too?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Darren. This is a roll call.
Trustee Featherston?
Yes.
Trustee Hager?
Yes.
Trustee Garrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
I'm gonna die right here.
While he dies, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve all personnel action and related documents.
Mr. Featherston makes a motion to approve all personnel actions and associated documents.
I'll second that motion.
Dr. Hager seconds. All in favor, let's roll call this one for giggles.
Trustee Featherston?
Yes.
Trustee Hager?
Yes.
Trustee Garrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yep. All right. I think we are down to adjournment.
We've never had a motion to adjourn come in from space before.
I'd like to make the motion to adjourn, possibly from the farthest away planet I could be.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Aye. We're adjourned.
Wow.
You have anything to talk about on this?
Quick question from another planet named Shannon.